afternoon. Manuel Oliver is coming here to speak with us, to talk to us about this issue. He comes to us from his organization that he founded with his wife, Change the Ref. And yeah, Manuel, please come on stage. He's going to give you a bit of a presentation, and then we're going to have a conversation together.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. So I've been reading The Room since this morning, the company itself, and I don't know if it's too soon for me to actually say that I love this company. But I still don't know if you sell soap and then you can do, because of that, good things, or you do good things and thanks to that you can sell soap. But it's a nice hybrid, it's a nice combination, and I'm glad to be here. I want to be a friend, period. So talking about friends, that image is a portrait of my beautiful son, Joaquin Oliver. And Joaquin was shot and killed in 2018, that's a little more than 5 years ago, while he was inside his school in Portland, Florida. Joaquin was a great guy, very concerned about social issues. He was a good observer of the good and the bad. And I'm saying this only because, of course, it's my son, I love him forever, but also we're talking about my best friend here. So I had enough time to share with him many things. I miss him a lot, but since the last 5 years, my wife Patricia and myself, we decided to find a purpose in life, and that's what we do now. We are activists. I have a creative background on me, and the day that I lost my son, I quit my job, and I started working on this direction. So I'm honored to be here today. Funny fact is that I do get invitations to events like this one, but I never get an invitation from the activism manager of a company. So, these guys have an activism manager. I gotta be there. So that explains my presence here. This is America today, and when I say today, it's literally today, because a little more than 100 people will die. They're going to be shot, and we don't know who, we don't know where. We just know that 111 average people will die today. We might be the lucky ones, or not. This is totally preventable. This is not an illness. It's more a social illness than anything that you won't find a cure for it. But it's an addition of wrong decisions for decades. I hate the fact that I'm one of those unlucky guys. But and that's not fair. That is not fair because I'm here, breathing, alive, and speaking to you. I hate the fact that my son Joaquin was one of the unlucky ones. So we tried everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. We were talking this morning about how one day I was able to talk to Greenpeace, and I sold them the idea that, listen, there's a crane in front of the White House. I need to get up there and send a message to the president. I don't care who's the president. This is an issue that has been there for decades. We had blue, red, Democrats, Republicans, none of them has been able to fix the problem. So, and I will interrupt the president, whoever he is, and we will march, we will do, and I will get arrested, and I really don't care about that. Yeah, why are you laughing? Have you been arrested? Yeah, I don't care. So, we have tried and tried and tried, and nothing seems to be working the way that I see that things work. Like they asked me in an interview, so it's been 5 years, Manuel, what's going on today? Well, we have more people dying. So we're missing something here. And it's not only in the United States. I was able to join a delegation that went from the United States and other countries to Mexico. We wanted to see what was going on in Mexico with the American made guns. And here's the thing, because of the easy way that we have access to guns, 90% of the guns in Mexico that are actually the ones that the cartels are holding, the organized crime are holding, are trafficked from the United States to Mexico. That makes me think that we are only getting worse. It's intoxicating other nations, and we are doing nothing to prevent it. Quick example, because I have a counter here. For those of you that haven't been here, there's a lot of pressure where I am right now. You can go to a gun shop in a border state, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, California. I could buy 20 AR-15s with one background check. When I say I, yes, me, the guy that lost the son, I am not a red flag. I should be a red flag. I can go purchase all that, go to the borderline, give it to the organized group over there and make a lot of money out of it. And next week I'll do the same thing. So it happens on a daily basis. But let's go back to the United States and try to understand what's going on. It's a global problem, okay? And another organization that I represent is Global Action on Gun Violence. And the reason why I started working with Global Action is that after trying everything, we need to go to other entities. And then I find this amazing company that I love, that is already working on global actions. And I believe that there's an ethical reason to do these kind of things. And as a corporation, there must be a financial issue. I understand. This is a business, okay? Some people just care about the financial issue. They don't have any ethical principles in it. So it's about sympathy. What is it that you're doing that people are loving, following, or salute you because of your actions? And I went over a few of these. And for example, you have the Naked product, and it's incredible. A lot of people, a big percentage of, like 70% of Americans are willing to pay more because they feel that they're doing something good here. So it's a good call. 70% is a lot. I mean, it's enough people to make a decision that will benefit everyone. It's a win-win. This is pretty funny because when it comes to organic, Americans will pay more for organic, but they also have no idea what it is. And I agree. I mean, it's cool, it's trend. And yes, a percentage that understands what's going on behind organic will pay more for that, 60%, a little more than that. And then you have the handmade with love, and again, I was really looking at every single detail of your company, the things that I could see that are out there. And you can see how there's a lot of people that are willing. In this chart, you can see them by age and gender, and they are willing, but none of them is higher than 40%, 50%. But what if I tell you that more than 90% of Americans support universal background checks? 90%. That's a lot. That's like this whole room, excluding that section. Or that section, so you don't feel bad. So you get that, it's not a personal thing. It's a lot. 90%, some people say it's 95%. It's like people that love pizza. It's really a decision maker. It's a number that we should consider. But the thing is that, where is that company that is willing to take that risk, in quotes? And I think this was tailored for this company. And if you ask me what are my expectations for today, is to open the door. Open the beginning of something. I've been listening to everything this morning. And all these programs started in a moment like this. Someone suggested them. So my hope, after climbing cranes, being arrested, being in the Oval Office, talking to presidents, is that corporate America will finally get to the bottom of this by somehow changing, not forcing, changing, suggesting a new consumer behavior. That will take a while. But I think that the United States deserves better than what we have today. We're talking this morning, like, you already have this program about the right of movement and how, which is, for me, is a basic thing to support. Like, people that travel from one place to the other, they're not tourists. These are people that have needs and they have duties. And wait, actually, I'm just making a testimonial right now. Well, let me tell you about freedom of movement. I was born in Venezuela, okay? And 21 years ago, I decided to move from Venezuela to the United States because I wanted a better future for my kids. Joaquin was only 2 years old when we moved here, and he loved it. Oh my God, he loved the whole sports, and, everything, the whole circus that we find here in this country, the good side of it. Joaquin loved it. The American dream was real. And then suddenly, it turned into an American nightmare. It's so ironic that I have the freedom of movement, but I was missing something. What is it that is really happening? What's behind that move that I'm about to make? So we should go beyond that. And following now I'm here as an activist. It's incredible how life can change the whole meaning of you being here in such a radical way. But I'm also a father, and I have a duty as a father. The day that I lost my son did not lose his dad. So that makes me wake up every morning and keep on doing this. So what if, in addition to this, the freedom to live free from gunfire, what if we, along with Global Action on Gun Violence, which is actually the t-shirt I'm wearing today, along with Joaquin, along with the 48,000 victims of gun violence that every year lose their life. What if we, knowing that we're doing this already, knowing that your company is really fighting on that right of movement, having stores open in Texas, in the meantime, Greg Abbott is just blocking the border and sending immigrants to other states, and he thinks it's so cool. They compete each other. Ron DeSantis and Greg Abbott, who's more an asshole than the other? Sorry, you caught that? So, and you guys have these stores in Texas and in Florida with messages in your windows and no one's going after you and like really fighting back, because of course not. The majority of people have common sense. So we cannot be afraid of making these moves. So that's it. What if we create this fighting gun violence? What if I know that every time I go to your store, you're also working on that problem? You have like more than 900 stores around the world. 200 of them are in the United States. From the ones in the United States, 90% of people that I just showed you will honor this. Besides that, there's a huge demographic that is waiting for this to happen. So they can run to your stores, promote these programs, or programs like this one, so more stores get into it. It's the power of corporations that you already found it. You got it. But others don't. So we need to teach them and not being afraid of doing it. The windows, the package, the bags, the website. Let everybody know that we are working on this direction. So it's been really hard for me to get corporate involved. And the reason for that is that we live in the United States. Money talks. Show your pretty face as a CEO and you say a couple of things, you send some thoughts and prayers. At the end of the day, you just want to be back in your business selling stuff to Americans that are just filling up their garage and buying more and more stuff that they don't need. But that's more important than saving lives. Well, I totally disagree. And I am more than happy to bring to this new door that we're opening a whole crew of people that know how to make this happen. We have worked with the most creative companies. This program has been presented to the United Nations, to the Organización de Estados Americanos. It's really something serious that we want everyone to be aware of. But because I have limitations in a nation like this one, that again, money talks. The same way that we hacked Washington, we needed to hack corporations. So I worked with this guy that I asked him, dude, we need a commercial for the Super Bowl. Come on, for the Super Bowl. You're not gonna have a commercial. Of course we will. Let's plan a commercial for the Super Bowl. So we decided to hack the commercials and make the commercials of commercials. So finally, corporations will understand where we are and what we're asking them to do. They're supposed to be sound.
Talking about
America's #1 sport. This is what we were up against.
We're in the dark right now.
In the U.S., many Americans compare
That trip to school. Always here in the States. This is normal.
anywhere else makes no sense.
That's a red flag.
It's not real.
Oh, easy on.
Believe what you're seeing is real.
Open your eyes. We can stay here, or we can fight our way back to the light.
you can help.
Make everything better.
Takes all of us.
To change America.
The clock is ticking.
What's the play?
So we presented a lot of campaigns 2 weeks ago at the Cannes Festival. We were not allowed to present this one. I know the director of 8 of these commercials. He loved them, but he cannot make them public. So we need brands to get involved. We need to start that direction. Americans need to know that other nations are also free. We did not invent freedom. Other nations are also cool and nice, and they have really good food. And if you think about those icons that represent the country, if I say France, you might be thinking of a croissant, wine, love. If I say Brazil, you will think of a dancing party. And if I say the United States, you might think of a gun. It's not fair for us, for our kids. This morning, someone that was on the same table that I was having breakfast told me that she feels afraid when she goes to work. That's the narrative that we have been accepting and being okay with it. I think that's an extreme moment that requires an extreme reaction. So I invite you to just, I was going to say start doing something. Keep doing what you're doing. And if you can please add an extra layer to all the good things that you're doing out there, not me, but millions of Americans will follow, will celebrate, and will thank you forever. Thank you for having me here today, and I'll be happy to go to the Q&A so we can answer some questions. Thank you. Come on. Okay, good luck.
All right, let's have a seat, Manny. So we're gonna have.
Yes, how are we going to see?
We'll just sit here on this comfortable couch and.
Okay.
This is, we have a little bit more time here for us to engage in some important conversation. You said you wanted to open the door, and so let's walk into the room together in this journey. And thank you for encouraging us as a brand to be brave and bold and to step into, unknown territory for us with the gun violence conversation. So the first question that I wanted to dive into with you is around language and terminology. Language is incredibly important in movements. We hear words like gun violence, we hear words like gun safety, gun control. As we're stepping into this work, talk to us about the importance of the terminology and sort of what's resonating with you, and as a business, how we should be stepping into that.
It's only in America, okay? I was told once that, but you don't say gun control, because they're going to freak out. Who's going to freak out? Well, because everybody will think that you're going after them. Well, I am going after them. What is it that we're not reading from these messages? Well, because when you say control, people might think that you want to control everything in their lives. Okay, that's perfect, because it's really working. You should use gun safety instead. And I don't think those two words go together, unless you have an interest of really pushing the bar. So we talk about gun safety, and I no one's feel offended. Well, let me tell you something. I'm offended because I lost my son. I'm not freaking out. I can have a conversation. Now, if you're offended because there's a risk that you might lose the right to have your AR-15 in your living room, I'm open to have that conversation. So those terminologies are just the result of weak movements, weak reactions, people not being offended enough. And I don't see anyone in this room, or your CEO, or your company's principal, principals or myself in any way willing to do that. So.
Great, thank you. Let's talk about detractors. How much of your work is around changing people's minds around the fact that there can be and should be an end to the gun violence in America?
Not much. I think that I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I think that a guy like Ted Cruz doesn't really care about my son being dead or not. So I don't think that he's going to change his mind. I'd rather spend time finding ways to change him and replace him for someone else. So. And this is where we do things that are, we have that in common. Like you're not trying to sell soap to the people that don't like soap, right? Or, right? Dirty people like, hey. You're not. There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of people that are willing to be part of that change that, then it's like a movement what you guys have here. And the same thing happens with us. So there's plenty of politicians, social figures, and influencers that agree with our ideas, way more than the detractors. And so I concentrate on elaborating and planning together with those.
Great. And we know that legislation isn't where it needs to be right now at the moment. We've seen you climbing on cranes and camping outside the White House. We see you doing tons of media and what is it going to take for us to win this? Like, what is the thing that we need to be striving for, knowing that legislation is not there at this moment in time?
Okay. I don't think I'm gonna answer you in two ways. In a personal way, there's nothing that I can win here. I did not start this fight, okay? I am reacting to a very injustice situation that ended the life of the person that I love most in the world. So there's nothing that I can achieve that will make me think that I want this. But I do think that there is a new generation of Americans, the young Americans, same ones that are concerned for climate change, the same ones that are concerned for civil rights and gay rights, and they are also concerned about gun violence. And they are more and more active also into the political system and voting. And so this is a long-term situation. And I believe that in the next 10 to 15 years, when this generation that I'm talking about, that I'm describing right now, will be a majority, will have control. They will raise their kids with other principles, gun violence, and the NRA and the gun industry will be irrelevant. Just like the tobacco industry. They should see themselves in the same mirror of the tobacco industry. No one in here, no one in this room is allowed to light up a cigarette right now. You are, but you won't. Because everybody will hate you. Actually, I don't know how far you need to go. Well, we're in Vegas.
Yeah.
We're in Vegas. We're in Vegas, so this always works. Not in Vegas that way. But in this room, you're not allowed to do that. You will never dare to do that. So I think that there'll be a moment where society will reject the fact that someone is carrying a gun and everyone else is ignoring it. I don't even know if someone carries a gun in this room, disagrees with me and just decides to do whatever. And now we all have that fear. Not my fault.
Thank you for painting that picture so clearly for us. When you relate it back to something as simple as lighting a cigarette, it does put it into a new perspective. You did such great research on our company before coming today. Thank you for doing that. And you did, you encouraged us around being brave enough to tackle this in our windows and things like that. I am curious to know what your conversation, or if you've had any other conversation with business, and what the role of greater business. So, you know, not every company out there is like Lush, willing to put something like gun violence in our windows. But yeah, what do you see as the role of business in this fight?
I think we all have the duty of do good things. That talking about individuals and corporations. So if not every business is like Lush, that's their bad. They have to look more like you. They have to, and it's because you have to do good things. It's karma, like you cannot spend your life just growing and growing your profit and not even care about who's buying it or who's selling it. Like my employees, are you guys safe in these malls? Are your customers safe every time they go to the stores? We all know that the answer is no. So if me, and you have a badass CEO, come on. Like, so that's the kind of profile that I've been searching for the last 5 years. I think I found it today. And I have a lot of witness in front of me. And my friend over there is recording this. So yes, so yes, I think that we should, I will be more than glad to work together, find that door and just start developing this. This could be a game changer.
Absolutely.
This could be a game changer.
We were chatting earlier with Manny about Mark Constantine and our founders, and yeah, just how incredibly courageous they've been in building the brand that allows us the space to have these conversations. So yeah, Manny was like, your CEO is just awesome. And it's true.
The guy decided not to use more social media? God! Having a company with more than 900 stores, that
Bold, right?
requires cojones.
Curious to know, I know that as a communicator, I know you've got a creative background, I can see that here, and we always like to distill things down to one message. So I'm thinking for the folks in this room who, you know, as we're about to begin our work around what does this look like for Lush? What is our conversation around gun violence looking like amongst our staff, with our stores? If you can distill it down to one message that you would want us to be imparting to the millions of customers who walk through our doors every day, what would that be?
Staying alive. Protecting the basic, number one human right, which is staying alive. There is no other right that you can practice if you're not alive. Yes, we have freedom of speech, we have a lot of things going on inside the United States, but guess what? Joaquin cannot enjoy any of them. So at this point, we're all in this room potential victims of gun violence. It's really out there. No one is working on a vaccine for that. 2 years ago, I heard that you guys are back, uniting, looking at your faces live because you have COVID. During COVID, the whole society, every angle of society decided we need to beat this. We need to get together, we need to find a vaccine because this is killing us. And we did it. Well, we need to do the same thing. And we can start from small to big. And I think I'm talking now to a universe of people that is actually the base of those decisions that the CEO or the board or the big guys in the company make. So it's always coming from you guys. Your fears, your bravery, your ideas, your disposition to do things in a different way. So you're a key here, every one of you. You're a key to make these changes. Try to survive, stay alive, and if you can build a better future for your kids, that's a win. That's the battle that I won't win, but you can win.
Thank you, Manny. I mean, you said it yourself, every single person in this room is an activist, so you know, some of you are lucky enough that you get to do it at work, but I know that probably you're all sitting here wondering, as an individual today, what can I do towards this fight? So is there any words of wisdom you have for the folks in this room as individuals?
Yes.
What can they do?
Absolutely, I do have. This is when someone will go out and go and vote them out. Sure, but we need to wait for a year to be able to do that. So what do you do between today and the moment that you go and vote? You go and demand. You call them. You grab your phone and you send messages to their phone machine, and you just hack the message of we need change. This is on the political side. But you're also influencers. You have customers. You have, I guess you still have your social media, right? As individuals. So use it. This is important, guys. There's a chance that someone in this room will feel, if not already, the loss of a loved one because of gun violence. You don't need to go through that to understand. Think about it. The price that I paid, the price that my wife paid by losing her son, to now get out there and speak to other mothers, trying to convince them that you can do something to prevent this from happening. You don't need that to happen. You need to react now. And this is a great opportunity, and you're in the right spot. You're in the right spot. So let's do it together. Let's be the game changers. Let's teach all those corporations that are not like us that they could be like us. Let's teach America that we could be like other countries, with good food, with safe streets, with no guns. No one is having a discussion on an argument. Are you in Ireland? Are you pro-gun or anti-gun? That's not a conversation in any other place but the United States. So we need to break that norm. Break the norm. Don't break the law. Yet. Break the norm. That's what we think.
Wow. Thank you, Manny, for sharing your story with us. And I think it goes without saying, on behalf of everyone in this room, that Joaquin is incredibly lucky to have you as his father. And you and your wife are doing such great work in his honor. And Lush is proud to be stepping into this work with you. So thank you for what you're teaching us. I also want to let you all know that Manny is going to be joining us for our think tank. I think it's at 4 o'clock or 4:30. 4 to 4:30. So anybody who wants to be in intimate conversation with myself and Manny on this topic, we invite you to attend. And yeah, Manny, I want to leave the